Hey Lucas, why didn't the vampire attack Taylor Swift?
Oh no, please no.
'Cause she already had bad blood. Thanks for joining MSU Tonight. I'm Ashlyn Huey.
And I'm Batman. Sorry, being so close to Halloween has made me junky. I'm Lucas Rack.
We have a new host for Sports Tonight. Joey and Mike will be talking about all things Murray State sports.
Later, I'll be catching up with Trey Book, our SGA president. We will discuss some of his plans for office.
Don't go anywhere. It's time for Hot Topics.
Last Thursday, the Murray State basketball teams gave fans a sneak preview of their upcoming seasons. MSU Tonight reporter Corey Sharber has more on the annual tradition.
The 2019-2020 Murray State Racers basketball program is officially underway following this year's Racer Mania on Thursday. A tradition that's been going strong since 2014, Racer Mania is a free event that gives the fans a preview of what's to come at the CFSB Center. Fans were able to get autographs from the men's and women's teams, and those who have signed up for Winner's Circle were able to get a Ja Morant replica jersey. The first 300 fans were able to get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. Both teams are coming off appearances in the conference tournaments, while the men's team made it to the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. The women's team finished 13-17 last year, and this season they will play against Louisville and Mississippi State, both teams who made the Elite Eight. Media Relations Associate AD Dave Winder has high hopes for their upcoming season.
Coach Turner's team was picked 8th in the OVC poll. They were picked last a year ago, so I see that as progress. She's got the freshman of the year coming back in Macy Turley, and I think they're going to have a growing process as the season goes, but they'll be in the hunt for the OVC title come January.
The men's team is looking to win their third conference title in a row to make a third straight appearance in the NCAA tournament. Longtime sports writer and radio personality Will Aubrey says the sky's the limit for the program.
I think this year's team will be an excellent team, and they have a chance to be as good or better than last year's team. Clearly, Ja Morant is going to be difficult to replace, but they've got other players who will be better than they were last year, and I think all in all it will be a different team, but it will be a very good team.
Both teams will play exhibition games at the CFSB Center on November 4th to kick off the year. The women's team will play Georgetown College and the men's team will play Martin Methodist. For MSU Tonight, I'm Corey Sharber.
The Department of Art and Design will present the 2019 Monster Mash on Thursday, October 31st outside Bowl of Fine Arts from 10 to 3. They will be selling artwork from students. This year, they are selling window decals, quirky Halloween-themed tchotchkes, postcards, magnets, and more. It's sure to be a graveyard smash.
The Clara M. Eagle Art Gallery is hosting 2 different exhibits, and the upper gallery is Exhibit Professional Blend 7. The works are by student artists that are currently in Art 399. They not only have to create the art, they have to install the art as well. The lower gallery is host to artist Katie Gallimore in her showcase In Your Way. Her art utilizes a variety of media, and some pieces are meant for audience participation. Professional Blend 7 is on display from now until November 8th. Katie Gallimore, In Your Way, is on display from now until the 4th of November. Both pieces are open to the public, and the gallery is open from Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Have you ever seen the Racer Band and just thought, that band is way too small? Well, you're in luck. This Saturday, the Racer Band will be hosting its first ever band day. Almost 500 school band students will come to Murray State to play 2001 and Thriller with the band at halftime. So if you ever wanted to see a 718-person marching band, you should definitely check it out.
For those interested in fresh produce, local products, or just a different experience in grocery shopping, the Murray Farmers Market is the place for you. The market is a great place for people to gather and spend time with each other, as well as get some great products in the process. The market takes place from May to October every year from 8 to 12 on Saturday mornings. There are many different options for sale at the farmers market, and you have the assurance that they are always locally grown or produced products. Some options include produce like tomatoes and zucchini, homemade bar soaps, fresh eggs, and much more. Local vendor Paula Gross has some comments on why the farmers market is local to producers.
We love being here at the farmers market because it provides for us opportunities for our families. All of the families feel that way, and for the community. And it's a great way for our customers to have homemade items, homegrown items, and to know what really this community is all about. And we always recommend anybody to come out here to the farmers market so they can get to know their farmers and their community. And it's a great outreach, and you can make some friends out of it too.
I hope to see some of you at the farmers market when it returns in May. It is a great opportunity to support local farmers and producers, and you can get some great stuff in the process. Stay with us. There is more fun to be had on MSU Tonight.
Don't touch your remote.
Welcome back to MSU Tonight. We'd like to welcome SGA President Trey Book. Thanks, man, for coming on.
No problem.
Appreciate it. I know you got a busy schedule, so I'll try not to keep you forever. But
Oh, no, it's no problem. Happy to be here.
I heard you got several tests. That's
Yeah, I have about
Never good.
three or four tests this week, a couple quizzes, and a couple meetings on
Gotcha.
top of all that. So.
bless your heart. I understand. So tell me about yourself. Kind of like, what is your background? Major, minor.
I'm from Henderson, Kentucky. It's
Cool.
about 2 hours northeast of here, right across the river from Evansville, Indiana.
Gotcha.
I'm a business marketing major. I don't have a minor, thankfully.
Gotcha.
Don't have to take any more classes. But
Gotcha. So what brought you to that field, and what do you think you're going to go with it?
Originally, I was biology pre-med major.
Gotcha.
Shadowed some cardiologists, some doctors, surgeons before coming to college, and then I got here, was taking biology, chemistry, psychology, zoology, all that fun stuff, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this isn't for me. It's not for me. So I talked to a few mentors from back home, a few mentors here, and really decided that's whenever I decided to go into business. Would really like to go into sales, medical sales, surgical sales. I actually had an internship in New York this past summer. I was
Congratulations.
working at a media advertising agency
Gotcha.
up there. So it's a little bit different than sales, but it's still in the same realm. So
Gotcha.
either sales or maybe working in higher education as well. So
Gotcha. What brought you to sales? It's a very specific group of people. You got to be a certain way to perform
Right.
well in sales. So
Right.
what made you do that?
I've always really liked and really enjoyed meeting people, talking with people, understanding where they've come from. I think it's super interesting to learn, especially after my internship this past summer, learning why people do the things that they do, specifically purchasing decisions, because it's super interesting. They have it down to a science on
Yeah.
when people buy things, during time of day, mood, things along those lines. So I just think it's super interesting.
Gotcha. That's awesome, man. So how can you take those skills that you've learned not only from Murray State but from your internship and relate them back to SGA? And give us some details on what you did before your presidency.
All right, so before my presidency in SGA, I'm actually two presidents in one. I'm actually
cool.
president of the Interfraternity Council, which is the governing council over all the fraternities on campus, the social fraternities. Also, I've been a summer orientation counselor. I was summer orientation counselor for 2 years, student ambassador for 2 years. I was on the exec board for St. Jude Up Till Dawn, which is a great philanthropy event that's
awesome.
held on campus every year that raises money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Wow, cool.
So a lot of different aspects that have led me to where I am today. Member of Greek Life as well, and held several positions within my fraternity. But all those positions, everything that I've done up until this point has led me to where I am. Like I said, I really love meeting people, talking with people. I like being one that helps bring about change. Just because we've done something a certain way for 20 years does not mean it's the best way. It's probably not the best way. There's probably a better way that we could be doing something. So at the end of the day, it's just, I love meeting people, love talking with people, seeing what interests them and how I can be of service to them.
Gotcha. So relating that reasonable change, I guess you could call it, as you're a man of reasonable change.
Yes.
What are you going to take with that mindset in your presidency?
Right. I think there are definitely some things that students want changed that it's just not possible to get.
Parking.
Parking is one of those. Believe me, that's a fight that I've tried to have, and it's a fight that I'm not going to have anymore.
I think many before you have had that as well.
It's just not a successful fight, and there's my time and energy can be placed somewhere else where that change can actually happen. But by the way, I think students do have trouble with parking, but I think compared to other universities, especially in the Commonwealth, our parking service is phenomenal. It's great. But the changes that I think we can see, that I'd like to see, is mental health issues. We've had rising mental health concerns on campus. More and more students every day are going to Student Disability Services, to the Student Affairs Office, to counseling services, to Women's Center, saying, they have anxiety, they have depression. More students are leaving campus or not coming back because they said that they have, some sort of mental health issues. I actually just had a meeting yesterday about forming a committee to try and see what we can do to help fix those problems. Another big thing is just having more fun on campus. One of the biggest complaints is, nothing happens on campus over the weekends, and a lot of people go home. And so I've taken upon myself, my SGA, my Senate, the Campus Activities Board, Residential College Association, challenge them to do more. Because I can do more, I can push my members to do more, but it's really all student organizations. Like the Residential College Association, they just hosted a conference this past weekend that brought several hundred students to campus, and they were here all weekend. So, that's phenomenal. We need more things like that. We need more events happening just on campus, especially in the Kerr Center. Because, the Kerr Center is a student center, and there for a while was really only offices, and kind of the faculty and staff kind of took it over with meeting rooms and offices and things along those lines. But now we're seeing it kind of flipped, more dining options, and we're trying to bring just more exciting, new, and innovative things to campus in the Kerr Center.
You touched on a lot there, so let's back up a little bit. So with depression or mental health specifically, have you personally had issues with that, not only with yourself, but family members or friends that you've had on campus that is personally relatable to you?
Oh, yes. It's personally relatable to me. I've suffered from it a lot in high school, and I still suffer from it. Everyone does. And I think a big part of it, combating that, is removing the stigma from it. I've heard concerns that students don't go to counseling services just because they don't want to be seen walking in there. And so, things that other universities have done is some sort of FaceTime counseling service at the beginning, because in that way you can do it from the quiet of your room, the confidence of your room, but still be able to talk to somebody. So, like I said, we're exploring a lot of different options, and one of the biggest things, though, is just helping to remove that stigma from mental health, because it's not bad. It doesn't mean, there's anything wrong with you. Everyone I've met has suffered from anxiety, depression, anything more than that. So,
that's really important, I think, to make sure and instill in people that it's not bad. We all go through it. How can you say from one person it's bad to another person?
Exactly.
There's no difference there. Talking about your Senate specifically, are you happy with your current Senate? Are you about to propose a lot of bills for them to pass? How are your thoughts about that?
My Senate's great.
Awesome.
Enthusiastic, always willing to help. Call upon them, and they, they're first ones to raise their hand and say, yes, we'll do this. Let's these new ideas. We don't pass a lot of legislation compared to, really any. The last legislation we passed was a proposal that supported Dr. Jackson being named permanent president. And I think that's important, that we don't pass a lot. Because then that means whenever we do pass something, it means something.
Going back to that reasonable change.
Yes, and because there's other universities in the Commonwealth that every single Senate meeting, every week they're passing just legislation after legislation. Just after a time, it's just like, okay, it's just another piece of paper.
Yeah.
But with us, it's actual change. It means that we actually stand with something, for something.
That's incredible.
Another piece of legislation that was passed last year under JT's term was that we needed a better health services. And the administration listened to it, and now we have a great health services, great health clinic for students to go to and seek medical attention. So
yeah, man, there's so much going on with you guys. It's really great for all of us to see. Just kind of breaking it down for us, what all does SGA encompass? You know, you talked about what your executive vice president does, you know, what you do yourself, residential side to it. Give us just a kind of a condensed rundown on what all you guys do. Because I think I was in SGA for a bit, and just from when I was in, I think our biggest issue was nobody really knew exactly what we did or what all we did. So give us a little bit of a rundown with that.
Yeah, of course. So Student Government Association is made up into 4 different branches. You have the Student Senate, which is what I am directly over. We meet weekly. Then you have the Campus Activities Board, which also meets weekly, and Kaylee Bold, who's my executive vice president, she's directly over that area. You have the Judicial Board, which Paxton Kreider is Chief Justice of. He's actually graduating in December, and so we're trying to transition a new Chief Justice in. They deal a lot with kind of judiciary things, parking, a lot of parking tickets, parking appeals. If you're appealing a parking ticket, they deal a lot with a parking office. But like I said, a lot of judiciary things as well, with student groups on campus. And then you have the Residential College Association that's under SGA as well. Madison Stewart is the RCA president, and then under RCA you have residential college councils. So each residential college has their own council, own president, own exec staff that's responsible for that residential college and doing events for their students that are members of that residential college. So there's a lot of working pieces, a lot of people involved in the entire process, and it's a lot of people for me to meet with and try to make sure things are going well and making sure that we're doing the best and delivering on the promises that we made to students whenever they were being recruited here.
Gotcha. There was one more question that I'd like to ask you, and I'll let you go. How do you, as a busy man of yourself, how do you get with all your members and just meet with them and chat with them, one-on-one? They have lives too, and as yourself. So how do you deal with that? I bet it's been a big encumbrance on yourself. It is. It's definitely hard, and I've told everyone that's the most difficult part is all the meetings. Yeah. Because at the same time, I'm a student just like everyone else. I'm taking 17 credit hours a semester too, and it is hard. It's definitely hard and I work as well. I work every single day in the Office of Recruitment, and it is hard, but it's a priority to me. I'm passionate about it, and I care about it. And so I ran for the position knowing fully well what I was getting myself into. And so that's just what I remember. No matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, I love it. I love being able to give back to the university and love being able to give back to the student body. So. Gotcha. Well, I think that'll do it for us, Trey. I really appreciate you coming on. No problem. Thank you all for having me. Yeah. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So stay with us here on MSU Tonight. We will have Joey and Mike on us to give us an update from Murray State Sports. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Murray State Sports. As always, I'm Mike Hall.
And I'm Joey Reynolds. Murray State's women's soccer team finished up the 2019 regular season this week on the road at Belmont and at home against Eastern Illinois. The Racers dominated the Bruins, winning 3-0. Racers forward Maya Watford scored 2 goals, breaking the Murray State single-season records for points and goals. Abby Jones also scored off a sensational free kick. On Sunday, the Racers returned home for the final time to face off against Eastern Illinois. Once again, it was Abby Jones who scored the long goal to give the Racers the win and their 6th consecutive OVC tournament appearance. The Racers will play in the semifinals on November 8th at Southeast Missouri State.
The women's volleyball hit the road this week to face off against Jacksonville State and Tennessee Tech. The Racers fell 3-1 against Jacksonville State, but not without putting up a fight. The Racers started strong in the first set, building a 14-10 lead before succumbing to a 10-1 run by the Gamecocks. The Racers won the next set 25-23 before losing the next two. Rachel Gustiano led the team with 16 kills, with Kobe McClelland and Rachel Holthouse scoring 13. The team then traveled to Tennessee State to win 3-1. The Racers' defense was put on display during this game, with 5 players having double-digit digs. Rachel Gustiano again led both the offense and defense with 22 kills, 18 digs, and 3 blocks. The Racers return home this weekend to take on SIU Edwardsville and Eastern Illinois.
The Racer football team hit the road this weekend to face off against 21-ranked Jacksonville State. The Racers held the Gamecocks scoreless for almost the entire first quarter, with Jacksonville scoring in the last 15 seconds. The Racers' offense rallied behind quarterback Preston Rice in the second half, scoring twice, but just coming up short off of a missed field goal. The Racers lost 12-14. Murray State returns home this weekend to face Tennessee Tech with a much larger marching band.
We're less than a week away from the start of the Racer basketball season, and as we are all ecstatic to watch our team play yet another season. Their first game will be on November the 9th against Southern University Jaguars. As Corey told us earlier about Racer Mania, it took place this last week and gave us a showcase of what our Racer team will look like this season. Along with the theme of Racer basketball, former player John Morant, now Memphis Grizzly, had quite an NBA debut in his last game. Against the Brooklyn Nets, Morant had 30 points as well as 9 assists and 4 rebounds. Seeing our alumni putting up these numbers in the league, it is easy to say, go Racers.
I mean, seeing his performance on this new level was absolutely amazing. He did amazingly, especially getting that block in Kyrie on the last seconds of the game.
He did. He blocked Kyrie in the fourth, which would have been a game-winning shot. It sent him into overtime, and it was an incredible move for the rookie. Now, it's hard to say. I'll say this. There was a lot of debate between different sports networks and people over whether or not John Morant was going to thrive in the NBA as he did when he was playing in college. So it's really exciting to see him in these beginning games in his rookie season to actually not only be competing, but to some sense of the word dominating in such a high level of play.
I mean, a lot of times last year you would hear comparisons to the likes of Russell Westbrook. And I mean, surely he'll be only getting better as the season goes on and probably become a star player with the likes of Curry and LeBron James.
Well, see, I wouldn't necessarily compare him to LeBron James, considering John Morant is a guard and LeBron James is a very aggressive forward. But I would say that Kyrie Irving is a very good analogy. And also on Murray State sports, in this last week, Maya Watford definitely had a record that she broke with her games.
Yeah, I mean, all of our athletes do amazing. That'll do it for this week's sports section here on MSU Tonight. Thanks for watching.
Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to MSU Tonight. Ashley, you got anything going on for Halloween?
I think I might celebrate Halloween with, my residential college,
Gotcha. I hope everybody has fun for this Halloween and make sure and stay safe. That'll do it for this episode of MSU Tonight.
Be sure to tune in next week at 5 p.m. or find us at YouTube.
See you later. All right.